Hello, hello, and welcome back, YouTube peoples. I'm Auric, and this is...
Arma, hello.
And this is... My GF Makes Me Read Homestuck, where I just been fantasizing about numbing my nuts with chalk. The look of disgust on her face right now.
Well,
Equals greater than.
inside the box there are 12 pieces of chalk in every color of the 10 pieces of chalk in most colors of the rainbow. You are excited by this.
Chump, he ate the green. Mayor
Ooh,
Vagabond
favorite green shit, huh?
tried to open the storage box.
Oh, joke about how kids should always eat their greens.
Ha!
It's locked. There must be some sort of release mechanism for this thing.
Wayward Vagabond, drink the yellow canister.
The container is full of motor oil. This does not seem useful to you right now.
Why would he drink the motor oil?
My brain instantly went to the other yellow substance that Homestuck has repeatedly mentioned in Raw.
Piss!
Yes.
I can't talk right now. I'm making piss. If I could make you see the darkest I fucking love that video. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just YouTube search I can't talk right now, I'm making piss. It's fucking hilarious. Mayor Vagabond, rescue that poor lightning bug.
There's nothing you can do for this new little friend. Attempting to crush the amber encasing the firefly would likely cause it harm. It nevertheless bravely flashes on. You find its sight alluring, inspiring. To you, it seems as if it could quite easily serve as the light of
Equals greater than.
democracy.
So, you see, the subtle subtext of Homestuck is that it's actually a story about about democracy versus communism.
Isn't the other thing a monarchy?
Hmm?
Nothing.
Communism. Communism. Uh, Mayor Vagabond, use the chalk to draw some roads.
You sketch
Oh!
a handsome network of sprawling thoroughfares for your citizens to traverse. The adoring population applauds its mayor's keen instincts for city planning. You even add some lush vegetation to your city with a piece of blue chalk because you can't seem to find more suitable color for some reason.
Gonna make this in fucking city skylines now. I don't think that democracy is the opposite of communism. Of course it is. Haven't you ever played Fallout? Uh, the opposite of democracy is communism and Rome. Mayor Vagabond, lay the chalk foundation for Cantown's civic growth.
You develop westward, setting those fertile plains and claiming them for your city. You section off a number of residential and commercial zones for civic growth, arranged in the only logical pattern that occurs to you. You color the residential zones with your piece of white chalk, but for some reason none of the colors in the box strike you as suitable for the commercial zones. Perhaps there is an alternative?
So he is 100% a rogue pawn. Like that, he's drawing a fucking chessboard.
You
He
see,
hates
sometimes
kings.
I get frustrated watching things with you or Officer because for some reason you guys are much faster about deducing things than I ever was.
Because I'm autistic and through the majority of middle school and early high school, I heavily analyzed how stories and shows are written. Mayor Vagabond, use your own pee for the commercials. I'm making pit!
You cannot urinate because you have not had anything to drink in quite
Drink the
some
motor
time.
oil. Ah!
You're very
Oh,
thirsty.
I thought I was gonna say, I saw use the motor oil and I thought I was gonna tell him to drink the motor oil. Sorry, continue.
Also, that is a really terrible idea, and you would not consider befouling your wonderful city in that way for even a moment.
Mayor Vagabond, do a handstand and piss in your own mouth. Use the oil to designate commercial zones.
You fill each empty square with a bit of motor oil to complete the zoning. It looks rather striking to you. You can hardly imagine that an up-and-coming young can trying to make it in the world would not be delighted to live in your fair district. You are very careful not to get any of the unpleasant fluids on your person.
He's very good at aiming his piss right into his own mouth.
Shut up.
The opposite of Rome is North Dakota. I just saw that in chat. Does that mean that South Dakota is actually ancient Rome? Mayor Vagabond, peel the Mayo label and affix it to your sash.
He's done the thing.
Alright, for some reason I'm waiting for you to read when there's nothing to read.
Mayor.
South Dakota is the opposite of Sicily. It's all coming together now. Just like the end of a Japanese porno, it's all coming together now.
Oh, shoot. Oh, gross.
Mayo Vagabond, survey the surroundings in search of more terrain for the city.
It seems you have run out of territory for your western expansion, but there's still a lot of empty wall space. Perhaps your citizens would be happier with a colorful backdrop that would make them feel more at home.
Equals greater than.
Using most of your imagination and an entire piece of sky blue chalk, you render a bright and cheerful sky full of clouds. You have decided that the very closely orbiting your city is a luminous planet, about which orbits a single moon. You switch to another shade of blue and continue rendering on the western wall.
That looks really cool, actually. Equals greater than.
Orbiting much further from your city are 4 planets. None of these have satellites, you have decided. Yes, that makes sense, you think.
These are gonna be the 4 worlds they have to travel through on their adventure, isn't it? This is the fucking world map being drawn out for us. Equals greater than.
And on the southern wall, beyond an impenetrable veil of darkness, occupying the furthest orbit yet, there is an ominous planet. A moon circles this one too.
And that's the final boss. Mayo Vagabond, check the rampaging boy on the screen.
Did you just voluntarily change it from mayor to mayo?
Yeah, I did it earlier.
Jesus.
He's Mayo Vagabond.
Cheeky. Oh yeah, it's that guy. You had almost forgotten about him and his confusing shenanigans. It seems like he has things well in hand at the moment. He does not appear to need your help, and you have already concluded that he cannot help you, at least for the time being.
This is 100%. This is the spur of mainframe where you can control the game. So we have John. We have Dave. What are the other 2 names? Awful.
So you see, Rose?
And the other one we only have
And
the username of. What?
Nothing. You didn't hear it.
I actually didn't hear it. I just heard Kate.
Okay, good. Arma doesn't spoil anything in this part.
No, I already know what this part's gonna be called. It's gonna be called I'm making piss.
Fuck.
Homestuck piss. But yeah, so it's the 4 of them, and there's 4 planets, so each of them is gonna get a different planet when they go into the world of Homestuck, and they're gonna have to, like, work and connect, I'm guessing. She's rolling her eyes. She's angry because she knows I got it right.
Stop looking at me!
Alright, fine. Should I just turn off the camera then?
No, don't.
I love you.
Speaking of turning cameras,
Turn on the 3 other screens, Mayo.
you have no idea how to turn these on. There is no mouse for this weird Corrado monitored computer. It can only be operated through text commands from its keyboard. Perhaps there is a special key or command which will allow you to switch to another monitor?
And look, he's got a big old equals greater than key. I'm kinda loving this. Also, the Windows logo is a pumpkin.
Oh my god, I didn't notice that.
Mayo Vagabond. Press tab.
Tap. He taps the tab key.
Equals greater than. Soda. Oh,
Tab.
he gets tabs. Equals greater than. Wasn't tab like an energy drink for marketed at women or something?
Don't ask me. Didn't have it in Germany.
I think that's what it was. There is no pumpkin on that key. There is no spoon. Oh my god, is he also in a layer of the Matrix? How deep does it go? WV consumes several cans.
You free the heavenly brown elixir from the jewels of pink carapace and imbibe like the wind. It is so sweet and sugary, you wonder how so much sugar can fit in one can. Whatever mighty wizard concocted this potion is truly deserving of your fear and respect.
Man, it's really good that this isn't full screen or else fucking Epilepsy City right here.
Yeah, I'm trying not to look too closely.
WV, welcome the rest into the city.
Wow, he fucking just sacrifices a few.
No,
The tabs are
the cans are the people. The stuff inside is just, it's the tax.
No, literally, the tabs are naturalized as loyal new citizens of Cantown. He just smit a few citizens. All cans are welcome and equal in your city, regardless of can content and whether empty or full. It's not like emptying a can kills it or anything. They're just cans after all.
See, it's exactly like I said. They're totally fine. They're just empty. They're just empty inside, like me.
I also feel like an empty tab can.
I hold. Egg sauce hobo, hit escape.
Feeling refreshed and heavily caffeinated, you go back to work on the big computer. You hit escape, which seems to minimize the action window thingy and reveals a history of all the commands you've entered.
So he's been the one giving commands to them. But then who's giving commands to him? Oh. Equals greater than. Just everything we've done.
Jesus. Yes, a lot of it.
What color are these words? That this chum says. Green text was. Hang on. No, this is stuff we haven't heard already. Is it?
Oh, we have.
Okay, some of it. I read troubling as throbbing.
You use the arrow key to scroll up a bit. You can't believe how much you've already typed into this stupid contraption. What a waste of time.
It's almost like we've spent months on this at this point. Equals greater than.
You scroll all the way up to find the first command. It looks like there are more commands above it. Maybe someone was entering commands on this thing before you? There aren't many more. At the top of this list appears to be a very first command.
Oh, so his first one was when he said boy. That's when this guy appeared. Okay. So commands before that point weren't from him. Home, view, switch 2, switch 3, switch 4, switch 1. Escape, lock room 3, password. View, reboot. Type switch 2.
You activate screen 2. The signal is garbled and you have no idea what you're looking at. Some sort of filthy beggar pleading for help? No one is around, and nothing is happening. You seem to be locked out of any sort of interaction with whatever's happening on this monitor.
It's the other girl's wizard statue. Switch 3. What the fuck?
It's another one of these rapscallions. This monitor is locked too. You can't tell him what to do. Not that you really want to, since it just looks like more confusing nonsense to you. You consider switching to screen 4, but decide against it. You have a feeling that whatever's there would just confuse you even more, and you don't even really care all that much anyway.
What the fuck is going on there? Is he fighting a fucking phoenix? Home.
All 4 screens activate. Together, they display a countdown starting at 4 hours and 13 minutes.
Is that how long their adventure has been? Oh, it's a countdown. So what's the split up? Why is John split in half or in pieces? There's got to be significance to that. Because everybody else has a whole home except John.
Oh, I don't know.
Reboot.
You can't. Nothing is working anymore. The timer seems to have disabled the keyboard.
Be the mayor.
Enough of this nonsense. You are an important mayor, and this absurd contraption has wasted enough of your time. You've got a city to govern with a carapaced fist, which is to say a firm, yet polished and supple as the situation demands. Anyway, this will help you kill some time while you wait for that clock to count down.
Create Mayo Vagabond, create opportunities for the citizen can't. This is fucking ridiculous.
You temporarily dismantle City Hall to free up all the can power available to create a vigilant town militia. You divide them into 2 groups, marking them with distinct teams and ranks using the piece of white chalk and the motor oil. You then organize them in a phalanx across the countryside, preparing for a stiff training regiment. When you are through with them, your forces will be well-oiled machine. Chalk another one up to the bold leadership.
Lead your men to victory. Oh. Is this a minigame? Oh. I was hoping this is gonna be a chess
very
minigame.
Adorable animation.
Of somebody who clearly can't play chess, and it's adorable.
You waste more than 4 hours on this tomfoolery.
Alright, we gotta sit here for 4 hours.
Please don't.
Four hours later. Mourn the loss of Citizen Tab.
Your caffeinated jittering must have agitated all the little bubbles curiously hidden in the liquid, creating too much pressure in the can. You speculate this is why it exploded as you nervously eyed the timer. You're starting to wonder what will happen when it reaches 0. Maybe it would be best not to be near it when this happens.
Minutes in the future.
Though perhaps not as far as implied by circumstance.
A pregnine medicant tendrils precariously cargo beneath the gleam of the celestial ominous. It's another vagabond. Okay, it's just one page.
Yep. And see, there's more flippy flappies.
More flippy flappies?
Yeah.
Oh.
Look, in the basket.
Wait, he's a white one. Ah, he's from the other chess team. Fight, 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 fight. Keys, 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 keys.
Oh, yeah.
Thing in the sky. Oh. Oh, the sparkle. That's a good catch. I didn't even think about that.
I was too distracted by flippy floppies.
Is that us? That must be us looking at him. Mayonnaise man, go outside and get some sun.
Get
Irradiate your
crusty mayo.
skin. Crusty mayo.
You say a bittersweet goodbye to your beloved city. It is time to move on to greener pastures, by which, of course, you mean an arid, sandy wasteland upon which nothing green has grown in years.
Equals greater than.
The door shuts behind you. A panel on the door becomes illuminated. As you ponder over the marks on the panel, you hear another mechanical sound overhead.
Equals greater than.
God, I just briefly looked at the time when this was published. 2009, I cry.
Almost. God, how many years ago is that now? Jesus Christ, we're in 2021. That's so long ago.
Yeah.
Equals greater than.
The LCD panel appears to have a touchscreen interface.
So we've got Spurb. other Spurb logo, and a fractal pattern. Curiously prod at the funny-looking spiral graph.
It appears the funny-looking spirograph room is locked.
Oh, so this room spins to let you into different rooms, and he was in the Spurb room. Okay. Equals greater than.
The floor rotates a full 360 degrees beneath you, while the surrounding walls seem to stay put.
So it's rotating the rooms, not him. Select the triangle-y fractal.
The triangle fractal room does not appear to be locked.
Equals greater than.
The floor turns 120 degrees and the door opens.
Equals greater than.
You go through the door to find another room. It's the same size as the other one you just wasted all the time in, while a clock was ticking down to something which may or may not be your doom. Maybe there is something in here that will help you escape.
Wait, why?
Against the wall there is another perplexing contraption.
Recursive just said 12 in chat, and I don't know why.
Oh, because 2009 was 12 years ago.
Oh, Jesus. So this series is 12 years old. Ooh.
Against the opposite wall is some sort of control panel which catches your eye. It has two large screens, but only one appears to be active. There are fields for numbers which appear to be modifiable with the dials to the right. Some numbers are already supplied by default, perhaps entered by the previous user. There are a few buttons below, the largest one bearing the symbol marking this room. Also, it looks like there is a meter stick propped up there for some reason.
This is like fucking mist. Ooh. Pixcast, welcome. They just made their first message. You're reading on Censored or the unofficial Homestuck collection. I don't know what the censored word is, but we're reading on the unofficial Homestuck collection. It was recommended to us a while ago by Recursive. Mayonnaise Mare. Attach your trusty knife to the meter stick.
You immediately craft a measuring spear, though possibly the most advanced form of alchemy employed thus far. This is obviously the most important thing to do first. Obviously.
Equals greater than.
Or it would obviously be the most important thing to do if you had remembered to bring your trusty knife. You feel so insecure without your trusty knife. It makes you want to slit your wrists, or at the very least, flog your carapace with some sort of measuring apparatus.
Oh no, don't do that. That's a bad thing. Look look at the other wall.
You examine the perplexing contraption across the room. You of course have no idea what it could possibly do. You adopt the only obvious course of action, which is to poke and prod it with your handy ruler. You are quite sure this is what science is all about.
It's an alchemeter. It's another alchemeter, that's what I'm assuming anyway. Mayo R, press the triangle pattern.
You go back to the control panel, which probably obviously controls that gizmo, and you push the big blue button, which is obviously probably the most obvious thing to push.
Equals greater than.
You purify a pumpkin.
Yee! Examine the pumpkin. So Raven would be like, what pumpkin? He just got like shit out his mouth again.
It seems this mysterious gourd was transported, purified, from a specific time and location, somewhere on this planet you are on. You wonder if the machine, a purifier, will take any object that exists at whatever time and location you supply. There is a symbol carved on the pumpkin. You don't know what it means, and you doubt it will ever prove to be relevant in any way. Any whatever.
Alright, so... Sorry, I'm gonna go back a couple pages real quick just to look at something.
Okay. Tell me, what do your eyes see?
It's a date, time, and coordinates.
Mm-hmm.
Does this thing steal stuff from time?
I don't want to say anything, Brian. Don't ask me questions that
Sorry,
you do not
it's
want to
more so
have
me
the
thinking
answer
aloud.
to.
I think this thing is stealing stuff out of time. Eat the pumpkin. I love his teeth.
Nibble, nibble. You consider dining on the ripe flesh of the plump vegetable, but your curiosity about the purifier gets the better of you. You try to sneak a nibble from the pumpkin nonetheless.
I love his teeth so fucking much. Like him eating animation is so cute. I want that on my Pete. Inspect the green buttons.
You first examine the attractive green buttons. The icon for the one on the left is that house shape you've seen plenty of times before. The right one, oh god, I'm having a fucking stroke. The right one on closer inspection appears to be the map for this underground facility, with an X marking its center.
Press the green button on the right.
You push the button. All of the numbers change. Perhaps these are the coordinates for the location of the center of this facility, along with the local date and time. If this is the case, it would make a useful reference point for your current bearings.
So it's the manual reset. The hey, return to like not here and now. Okay. This is kind of fucking cool. Fiddle with my diddle.
One way to find out would be to attempt to purify something from this facility. It should be easy to zero in on a location relative to the center because you have an uncanny knack for tracking precise distances you have already traversed, in whatever unit you choose. Your handy ruler gives you a good clue as the basic unit of human measurement. You will go with that.
A purifier trusty knife.
You nudge the coordinates very slightly and bump the elevation by 0.5 human measurement units. You make sure to keep the time approximately what it was to begin with. You purify your trusty knife. Sorry, I had to chuckle because human measurement units makes more sense to me than inches and feet.
I mean, of course, you don't like feet.
True.
Purify the Cantown.
You nudge the numbers a bit more and purify a bunch of cans. This is so much more efficient than walking back to the other room to get them. You are to believe that time is at a premium after all.
So what happens if he, like, purifies something, then turns the time back 10 seconds and purifies it again?
I don't know.
Purify the pumpkin.
Does this machine look like a purifier to you? Honestly, the idea of an purifier could both purify and purify things is so laughably ridiculous. You would wish someone would purify your brain and purify it with a brain that is much more smart and less dumb.
Use the trusty knife to carve Spook's schemera in the pumpkin?
A spook schema. Schema? Schema.
Shima.
What the hell are you talking about? That idea makes no sense at all and is basically meaningless. Try using that mushy stuff in the gourd next time. Instead, you just carve off the top, exposing a decadent cache of gorgeous seed-laden ambrosia. Needless to say, you consume all of it rather quickly, but it turns out to be too gross for us to watch.
Problem Sleuth thing. That's one of his other comics, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's a reference to one of their other things.
Uh,
Mayo homeless man. Move the spiral graph switch.
you cannot move it. It has a spirograph-shaped indentation, and possibly will require a special kind of key to turn it.
Purify the firefly out of the amber. Yay!
Ah.
Equals greater than.
You release your blinky new friend. You will give her a name when something suitable whimsical occurs to you.
What pumpkin is also a running reference to their other comics. Okay. Adjust the time dial to purify a rotten pumpkin.
You and Serenity consider new ways to waste more time with the purifier. You are assuming she is a girl, Firefly, even though you are not really sure that fireflies can even be girls. You target the extremely tasty rotten pumpkin that was sitting in the other room hours ago.
Oh, sorry, I hit equals greater than. I didn't say it aloud.
Alright. It seems the purifier cannot purify something if it will create a time paradox. A gelatinous ghost pumpkin purifies and quickly dissolves into a pile of unappetizing sludge.
Alright, that answers the question.
It's almost like in fucking Steins Gate, the jelly banana.
I feel like this would have been roughly the same time frame, so I wonder if they had watched Steins Gate.
Maybe.
With that being said, it's already been about another 30 minutes. So, we're going to wrap up for the YouTube peoples. But those of you on Twitch, you good to keep going, Arm?
I think so. I need to just briefly check something in between.
Alright, so, we're gonna take a short break. Steins Gate released at almost the exact same time. 90% of the questions you have, or you might have with Homestuck are... Oh, thank you for following, Pixcast. 99% of the questions you might have with Homestuck are answered by Just Read. And what's the date on this page? This page that we're currently on is 10/5/2009 at 5:38:11 p.m.
Oh my god. Steins Gate released October 15th, 2009.
Steins Gate ripped off Homestuck confirmed. Always the geniuses getting their stuff stolen stolen from them by anime. I wonder if they had like a mutual inspiration, like maybe something prior to both of them involving time travel had jellification be a thing. You know, there's a term for that. When like two people totally independent of each other have the same idea. Just because like the cultural touchstones are all there, and it's like all like the world is primed for that idea to crop up. But anyway, we're gonna wrap up for the YouTube people, and be back after a short break. If you've been enjoying this, like blah blah blah. You know how social media works. And be sure to click the link to the Gas Network, which is in different places depending on where you're viewing from. That's where you can find it's the collective Discord of me and my other streaming friends, blah blah blah. Follow my stuff and my friends. I've been Ulrich.
And I've been Arm.
And we'll see y'all next week. Ta-ta.